For more on all of this, let's bring in Steve Cortes, former senior Trump campaign advisor, and Nomiki Konst, a Democratic strategist. Steve, I'm going to start with you. The Trump Justice Department is arguing both that they didn't disobey the order and that the judge doesn't even have the authority to issue it. Border Czar Tom Homan came right out and said, I don't care what the judges think, we're not stopping.
Right. Well, listen, both things can be true. The judge may not have the right, and they can also be in compliance with the illegitimate order from the judge. But more importantly than the legal maneuvers here, I think, Elizabeth, as Americans, let's just use common sense and logic. What makes sense for this country? Donald Trump was elected in a mandate, winning the popular vote, winning every swing state, with his fundamental pillar issue being immigration enforcement, both controlling the border and getting dangerous foreign nationals out of this country. What we saw over the weekend is perhaps the most successful anti-terrorist operation in American history. And it's an action that should be celebrated by all Americans, and it should bring relief, I hope, to those who have been the victims of dangerous illegal aliens. People like Laken Riley's family, who mourn the loss of a beautiful young woman whose death should have never happened if her killer had been removed in exactly an action like this taken by Tom Homan and President Trump.
But, Steve, shouldn't the White House provide some proof these men are who they say they are?
Look, here's the thing, Elizabeth. These are foreign nationals. Dangerous foreign nationals have no right to be in this country. For that matter, no foreign national at all has a right to be in this country. If you're going to be here as a guest to the United States, if you've been allowed in legally, you need to obey our laws. And if you've come to this country illegally, you have no standing, and again, I'm talking pure logic here, you have no standing to be demanding of the United States. I trust law enforcement in saying that these were dangerous people. I also trust, frankly, El Salvador because of what they have done in their country, turning what was the most dangerous place in the Western Hemisphere into the safest place in the Western Hemisphere. And they are also saying, they are concurring with the American White House and saying, these are bad hombres. These are people that belong in our super secure prison, and we're going to keep them there.
You know, these are bad hombres. Nobody wants bad hombres to stay here. Nobody wants criminals, rapists, killers to stay here. The problem is we don't know exactly who these people are.
Exactly. And many of the families of these men have said that they were just pulled off the streets. They were pulled from their homes with no evidence, no information. All they knew that was, for some reason, the Trump administration has access to all this data now. They knew that they were undocumented. Maybe they were, working members of the community, contributing tax dollars to their community.
Well, we don't know that. You don't know that.
Well, the families are claiming this, and they're being represented by legal representation that's making this case. But the point is that we don't start from, we don't know, now we arrest them. We start from, we have the Fifth Amendment in this country, and, you don't have the right as the president, whether you're using this 200-year law, which only existed during wartime, which we are not in. Tren de Aragua might be an organization, a criminal enterprise, but they are not a foreign nation. They are not declaring official war in this country. And as far as I knew, Congress has a big role in declaring whether or not we go into war or not. So Donald Trump is abusing his power. This is theatrical. This is, I think, going to be a stain for any Republican who goes out there and supports this, because, it is basically saying we do not acknowledge our rule of law in this country. And also, if you are so sure about this, then why didn't you go through the court system? Why didn't you provide your evidence? Why didn't you release the names? Why didn't you say what they supposedly did? Now you're leaving communities vulnerable that actually are potentially at risk with Tren de Aragua's actions in Long Island or across this country. Donald Trump's not actually solving this. He's just rounding people up, using whatever power he can to make a point theatrically with his pal Bukele in El Salvador, who is also taking a lot of crypto money, which he's doing too. They have this little coalition.
Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.